Alright.
Alright.
Get rid of that. My mouse wants to disappear on me.
Goodbye.
What are even computers? There we go. I think it's time that I get new rechargeable batteries for my expensive Apple mouse. Because replacing the mouse would be like $70. Alright, welcome back to Let's Play Millennium Duels. So, we're moving on to what is, without a doubt, my favorite series in the entire franchise, which is 5Ds. So, of course, I'm very nostalgic about the original. Who isn't? I think everybody has a lot of appreciation for the original. But as far as which series I consider to be objectively the best, this is without a doubt the series that is the one I hold the highest praise for. And my experience with the series has been really unique. I actually really watched the majority of 5Ds this year. Like, I only got around to watching Season 1 back in 2015 when after taking my first kind of short break from the card game. And then that's kind of when we started dating, right?
Yes.
And when I was working overnight in winter of 2015, and you and I got to talking about it because that was one of the things we always had in common was Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yes, it is.
So after...
you put me back in that rabbit hole. I always think I escape and then I fall right the hell back in.
Yeah, and now we're looking at fan art on Pixiv and everything else. So...
cosplay.
Yeah, and cosplay as well. So
a cosplay that I wanted to do since like 2012, and now I actually have the wig and the supplies. So...
After watching Season 1 in the winter of 2015, watched Season 2, 3, and now I'm on 4 all of this year. And it's really weird because I have this really hard rule when it comes to any kind of TV series, including anime, where I typically don't like it to go over 2 seasons, over like 24 or so episodes. But yet I've watched I'm on episode 111 of 5Ds right now, and I'm still just so engaged and so engrossed into what's happening. So as we're going through these tournaments, I'm going to talk a lot about these characters and how they tie into the anime, as well as I may try a different deck for this. I have a dragon deck that utilizes some of the Dragunity tuners and some of their synchro monsters as well, so we can get into a deck that I actually played during the 5Ds era and loved to absolute pieces. But unfortunately, just because of the mechanics of this game, with the fact that you only get so many cards when you win, there's no effective way at getting the cards that you want. Even if you buy the pre-made structure decks on the Xbox Live download store, you're still only getting part of the deck. You're not getting all of the multiples or a full 40 card deck when you do that. You're just getting like half of a deck essentially to build off of. So there's no easy or correct way to actually get cards in this game. So I'm basically scraping by with whatever I can get. And in that instance, I have a fairly competent version of this Dragunity deck that we're going to be using. And I'm pretty sure I have everything already lined up for that. So let's go ahead and begin. So the first tournament here, we have 4 out of the 5 Dark Signers and ending on Jack Atlas. So this should be a lot of fun. We're going to go ahead and start with Misty. And I'm going to pause that preview so I'm not killing my computer. Okay, so obviously the quote-unquote deck 1 is the normal good deck that I would use. So let's go with Dragons there, which apparently has been saved on January of 2017, which I don't think that was for this Let's Play or not. Oh, hell. I hate when this happens. I'll have to fix that off screen. Okay, let's go ahead with the deck then. So for some reason, every time you load up this game, it asks you to select a hard drive that you want to have allocated for this game when you boot it up. And so all of the DLC decks are allocated to that hard drive. So essentially, if it didn't load up correctly, then it's going to say, you don't have all the cards for this deck. It's really stupid. Anyway, so we're going up against Misty, who is a character that only appeared in Season 2. And I don't know about you, but she made quite an impression on me the limited amount of time that she had in the game, in the anime rather. So she was a fortune teller, correct?
Yeah. Well, she was a model.
Right.
And she did not so much fortune telling, but yeah.
So her deck in the anime was the reptilian archetype, and it appears that, let's see, I could always set Desquala, flip it, and then do damage to her, but she's wide open right now, so let me just hit her directly. She has this weird deck that focuses on continuous spells to get out Dragon Queen of Tragic Endings, which is not really a good card. So, honestly, I would have liked to have seen the AI attempt to make the reptilian archetype work out, because that was kind of one of the... It was an archetype introduced just for her, for the anime, that didn't...
20 million times.
Yeah, it didn't really do anything in the actual card game. As I've said before, and if you've been playing Tag Force recently, you should... So she's attacking me with this. What's going to happen? And I guess... Hang on. A monster that battles this card cannot change its battle position. And she takes no damage. That's such a dumb effect. Fine, go ahead. Attack. She does take the battle damage.
Yeah.
What the hell? That was so meaningless. Yeah, so this is this game, as I've established, has the exact same mechanics as Tag Force, but it's a lot faster because it doesn't have that awful loading time of the PSP to sit there and grind up. There actually is a way. I think if you install Tag Force on your PSP, it goes a little bit faster, but the UMDs are just so slow. Gaining life points is really not a good thing for her because, like, she has no win condition, basically. Oh crap, I can't attack with that now. So maybe that was maybe that was an okay strategy.
Okay.
Yeah, she didn't use any of these cards in the anime. This deck sort of focuses on making the Dragon Queen of Tragic Endings work, but even if she summons that, it's not really going to do a whole lot. Oh no, it's Messenger of Peace! So she's going to pay 100 life points per turn and gain 500 off of that spell absorption.
They're the most painful.
Image reveal us. I need something to get rid of Messenger of Peace, though.
Yeah, I've had the most painful duel in Tag Force with that fucking card.
Messenger of Peace?
Yes! I pretty much had all my top dogs on the field, and they played that, and I couldn't attack, but they had nothing that would... They couldn't attack either. So, they got stuck with it, and they couldn't get rid of it, and I didn't have anything to get rid of it. So literally sat there until they ran out of life points.
Wow. I need a board wipe. I need Black Rose. What's ironic about that, as I say that, is in the anime, to make another parallel, Misty dueled Aki at the beginning of Season 2 in the... I can't remember what building that was in. I think it was the building that was basically the headquarters of the Arcadia movement.
Yeah.
Let's see, that in the graveyard. I don't have any lights in the graveyard, otherwise I could get Torrential and then... I may have to just wait for her to summon something else and then Torrential the board. I'm still technically winning. Hell, even at this rate, she would probably deck out before I would, because we haven't increased our card economy by anything.
Alright.
Yeah, she just drew 2 more cards, so... Take more damage!
Cool.
So Misty absolutely hates the Arcadia movement because of what happened to her brother. Apparently her brother got tied up in them, and again,
He had psychic abilities as well.
Yeah, this is minor spoilers, but... hell. Should I just torrential the board?
You kinda need to.
I don't know. Like it still won't handle what she has in the back row. So
it won't.
I need yeah, and it only destroys monsters. So I need some way to get into black rows and destroy her whole board. Unfortunately, this deck does not have that much back row removal, and that's what her deck is primarily focused on. But yeah, Misty hated the Arcadia movement so much after what happened to her brother that she basically wanted Aki to die. But of course, that was not going to happen. Fuck. Alright, I'm gonna do it.
Black Rose?
I'm gonna nuke the board. Or use Torrential. Okay, there was no targets for that, I guess. Destroy the Unhappy Maiden and Royal Magical Library. Cool. I guess. Maybe we can deal some more burn damage to her off of that.
Right.
So another one of the major localization changes that was made to 5Ds in the English version was they heavily censored and removed the scene that actually talks about what happened to Misty's brother, because he was basically like electrocuted and tortured.
Yep.
And it was
experimented on.
Yeah, it was brutal. Great, now I can't play barely anything. I can't even make Black Rose now because I don't have any zones. This card was supposed to be like broken in Master Rule 4, but people don't use it for some reason. They're like, oh, can't you just block out the extra monster zone? But people don't really use it for that, strangely enough. There's nothing I can do. I've never actually had a hard time with her before. Not that I really can't say that she's even winning, because she's taking damage every turn and nothing's happening to us. I guess I'll take the 400 damage. I don't really want to waste any of my back row on that. Caius, that can actually help, because he can banish any card in the field, so he can banish back row as well. Right, Keith says, I have this game too. I had to and I unlock up to 3,300 cards, plus DLC. I started Expert mode. I'm still playing Merrick on Expert. Yeah, Expert mode, from what I have seen, is actually really good, because it puts you up against very challenging decks. So, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what that's going to be like. So here's the question is, with my one banish that I'm allowed with Caius, what do I actually want to banish? Because if I banish one of the ground collapses, I can actually get more stuff on the board. Right. If I banish Messenger of Peace, I can actually battle.
You can't battle. You can't use anything to battle if you can't put it on the floor.
Well, right. It especially can't battle. I can't battle over that and still be able to attack later because of what happens afterwards. So. Yeah, okay, so let's use Plague Spreader. We're gonna put him back just in case. Doesn't matter what position. If anything, she'll just take 2,000 more damage by running into Caius to prevent him from being able to attack again. Banish that. She has no way of recovering that, so we basically have an actual... We can actually play now.
Hey! If anything, she's gonna end up either decking out or losing all her damn life points.
Yeah. OMG, Card Trader, it's so broken. So do you remember how Misty became a Dark Signer? Is that established? You can look it up while we're doing this. Okay, so I can't attack. I almost want to play Morphing Jar, but I don't want BLS to go in the graveyard, because then I won't be able to... Man. Go ahead. You know what's crazy is if she had played like Final Countdown, she would probably be able to win.
Yeah, no kidding.
She's still gonna deck out before I will. Wesley wants me to summon Blue Eyes White Dragon. I actually don't own a Blue Eyes in this yet, but what's funny about this is I actually do have White Stone and I have Bright Star Dragon. Ooh! Ooh! Ooh. Well, actually, the reason why I can't attack is because of Messenger of Peace, so... I can still attack with Krebons, even though it's a dark.
Okay, so she hit Akiza because Toby was Akiza was the reason Toby was interested in the Arcadia movement anyways.
Really? That's weird, I don't remember that. I have such fond memories of that season. Like, Season 2 was so good.
She believed that Akiza was the reason he was killed.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
When Misty found his
So,
body.
I added a spicy little tech to my extra deck over here. I added Blood Mephist, which... Blood Mephist was a card that was in the anime that could actually deal, like, real damage to somebody. This is the card that, in Season 3, that Crow's childhood friend used to kill the guy who previously owned the Blackbird bike.
Oh.
Yeah, and so it's actually pretty fucking evil. I should feel morally objecting to. I should morally object to running this, but this card also had the designation of being a prize card that's worth like a couple $100 because it was given out at one of the big Shonen Jump Championship events.
Right.
Let's see. I can do some burn damage with it though.
Okay.
Each card my opponent controls. You know, that might actually be a good way to beat her, is to make that. Let's battle with Krebons first, and then we'll make that. Because she's going to take 300 for every card she controls, and with this full back row, she's going to burn herself to death. Oh my god.
Okay. Upon seeing her brother's body, Misty became so shocked from the incident that she lost focus while driving her car and drove it into the ocean.
Oh, that's right.
She was taken to the hospital where she lingered in a catatonic state. As she was about to die, English version does not say this, stated that she's unconscious in addition. The earthbound immortal, I'm not going to attempt lizard god thing, had appeared to save her from death.
Lizard god thing.
In the dub, it offered to get her revenge on the person that caused her brother's disappearance. That's right, he didn't die. Okay.
Yeah, he absolutely dies in the Japanese, though. Alright, Blood Mephist! Cool. Wesley also says he just beat the Spider-Man game. How was that? I've actually... That's probably a game I'm gonna get for Christmas or put on layaway, because I'm legit really, really excited about it, but it's definitely not in the budget, and I have such a big backlog right now that I probably wouldn't play it. But, man, am I looking forward to it. Oh! Dang it! Holy crap. So you know how I keep skipping prompts like that? I skipped the prompt to activate Blood Mephist effect.
So he fucked up?
I can do it again next turn, but...
Okay.
And it looks like that might be my win condition because she drew her utter ground collapse. So I can't play anything else? But this is going to be hilarious because she's going to burn herself to death. Oh my god. How long was Spider-Man, Wesley? No. So during her standby phase when it activates. I just have to actually do it manually. It's not mandatory, apparently.
Yeah, duh.
No. Card trader. No. Activate deflective, but watch this. Jesus! That's a lot of damage.
Yep.
Oh, she's just making it worse. Oh, Misty. You unhappy girl, you.
Wow.
She is, though. She is.
She is, but...
She's pretty edgy.
She is.
He
said it took him 20 hours.
Okay, that's not too bad. That's pretty good. Drew cards. Activate the effect of Blood Mephisto. Oh my god.
Oh, thank god. We're almost done.
Oh man. This is... I wish I could record this as a... Hopefully there's a way to download this video so I can get this as a clip, because this is like one of those legendary moments where I like... You can't script something like this. Like, this had to have happened.
This was so painful. I got stuck in it with, like, a Luna duel and Tag Force, and I'm like, God, it's in my life. She ended up decking out, and that's how I won. But, God bless, was that boring.
Wow. She fucking killed herself because of Blood Mephisto. That's messed up. Anyway, I love Misty as a character. Ooh, I got a Top Runner. It's a nice little Fortuner.
Yeah, I like Misty.
Yeah, I love seeing the picture of the photograph of her in Paris after she leaves Neo Domino City.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it is that gets that photo. I think it's Yusei.
Is it? I thought that was Akiza.
It might have been. It's in the last episode of season 2, in one of the very happy moments. So, guess who we're dueling now?
My girl.
So, probably between the both of us, one of our favorite characters in all of 5Ds. So, Carly was basically introduced in season 2 as somebody who... She's basically the paparazzi.
She's a reporter.
So she
writes in a newspaper.
A reporter, in quotations.
She's not technically paparazzi.
But technically. But she runs around with a camera trying to get the scoop, and is always eyeballing all these celebrities. So, of course, she was eyeballing the one and only Absolute King, Jack Atlas, and was getting lots of information on him. This is kind of an interesting way to start. Let's see. She also got involved with the Arcadia movement as well, where Divine ended up dueling her, and because of his psychic powers, she got thrown out of a window. Oh, I sent the wrong monster. Damn, I meant to send not Assailant, because I could have used Plague Spreader and now it's banished. Oh well. Yep. That's pretty good, though. That was a decent opening, and Morphing Jars is going to make it that much better. So she got thrown out of a window and died, and it was horrible. But,
Okay, so, yes. Yes, he should. Because he's another one of those characters that...
For context, Wesley's telling me I should cosplay as Callan Kessler, which again is one of those localization things that I know him. I know him by a different name in Japanese, but
as Callan, and you should. The long-haired version, the best version, because husband. Just cosplay all my favorite characters, Clint.
I mean, I'm working on it. We'll get there.
I'll cosplay all your favorite characters if you cosplay all mine.
That's the route we're taking, pretty much.
We have similar taste in favorite characters.
Yeah. So, when there's a really interesting relationship that Carly has with Jack, because Carly is obviously deeply infatuated with him, and you see this kind of come to the forefront when... with obviously her like fangirl obsession with him, but then they spend a lot of time together when there's a part where like Jack is in the hospital early on season 2 for some reason.
When he hurt himself in this duel with Yusei.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, not technically because of the duel Yusei, it's because the dragons were fighting each other, and
right. Backlash.
Everything blew up, and it was a good time. So
hell of a good time.
She came in and basically helped protect him, because she was like busting him out when other people came after him, and he was able to duel his way out. But it was good stuff. And so when when Jack has to actually duel her as a Dark Signer, it's really emotional. And her little fortune girls, I can't remember what they're called, they get transformed into the Fortune Lady archetype, which is what she's dueling us with right now.
Future Vision.
And she has this nasty friggin' field spell, Future Visions, that banishes your monster for a turn, and the Fortune Ladies come back to the field with these interesting effects. It was kind of an interesting rogue deck back in the 5Ds era. It never really was competitive. But with the plethora of generic, Fortune Lady Light is really cute, by the way. With the plethora of generic spellcaster support, though, the deck can actually function to an extent. God, I can't really
You can't normal summon.
get away with anything. I think I should go ahead and do it so it just comes back to the field afterwards. So let it go ahead and get banished. And then I'm contemplating flipping Morphing Jar back down with Book of Moon to get its effect off again later. Thinking about it. We'll see what happens. Let's see what Fortune Lady Dark does when it comes back. Its attack and defense equal to its level times 400. Hang on. When a Fortune Lady monster you control destroys opponent's monster by battle, you can special summon a Fortune Lady from your graveyard. That's decent, especially comboed with light. But yeah, so Wesley is insisting that we gender swap the two characters that we're cosplaying. Is that what's happening?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna work like that. Jack and Carly has absolutely planned cosplays for us. And
they are.
what's funny enough, I didn't even mention this yet, but for this arc in the game as well, I've actually changed my duelist portrait to Jack. So we actually do have a Jack and Carly duel right now.
Yes, we do.
That duel is also fantastic because, unfortunately, Jack has to utilize the power of Majestic Red Dragon to beat her, but in doing so, he kind of liberates her from the control of the Earthbound Immortals. Let's see, you're going to attack Neos. How about you take 2,400 instead? Interesting. Interesting. And that's what I mean about the plethora of generic spellcaster support. So the spellbook cards are actually great support for Fortune Ladies. That sucks. So now she's going to bring back water. Water's effect is going to activate. I'm going to activate a card. I am absolutely going to flip Morphing Jar back down so I can get its effect off. Nice. I love that she's actually putting up a fight, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, these Fortune Ladies could be formidable.
Yeah.
But yeah, when Jack defeats her, she kind of crumbles away in his arms, and it's very tragic. And then she comes back after the Earthbound Immortals are defeated. And you're still going? Jesus. By Fortunately Earth. Then she actually comes back in season 3. So she's basically back to normal, and their interactions are actually kept to a minimum. She basically is at that point just reserved as another cheerleader for Jack at that point. And Jack has like his fangirl triage that's helping him during in the WRGP arc. So it's Carly, it's Mikage, and it's the girl from the
Stephanie's her English name, but I don't know what her Japanese name is.
Oh, okay. Let's see. So I still can't attack because of swords. I can't really normal summon because of future visions. If I can summon BLS, which I can just banish one of the darks, which is good enough for me. I've got Kalut in case one of them tries to battle Blizzard. I'll just increase his attack by 1400. So that'll be cool. I'm worried about that back row she's got, though. It's a lot of back row. Oh, for...
Well, it destroys hers at least.
Yeah, that really doesn't do anything for me in terms of advantage, though. Because she's going to get... Well, actually, she's not going to get Earth back. Yeah, she did lose a lot of advantage there. You know, if I summon DD Survivor, it'll get banished, and then its own effect will activate, so it'll come back to the field during the end phase, which is pretty nice, instead of the standby phase.
Right.
I haven't really been able to take advantage of DD Survivor's effect, but there we go. I'm taking advantage of it. DD Survivor I used in a deck that... It was basically a Monarch deck that relied on banishing cards back when... What was that? When Macrocosmos and Deep Prison were not limited. It was sort of an anti-meta deck, and it did fairly well for the most part. Okay. I guess we're gonna summon Kalut. Because Blizzard's not in the field anymore. Okay.
That card will come back.
Probably one of the first cards that banishes face down, which is I guess it banishes regardless of position, but that's a trait that was kind of made famous by Pot of Desires, a card that sees a lot of play nowadays, where it banishes 10 cards face down. And banishing face down was almost like a new way to... a new form that cards have taken now, a new game state that hadn't previously been established, because they established that if you're bringing back a banished card, that it kind of has to be face up unless it otherwise specifies. So, in the instance of... Alright, who's coming back? Yay! Kalut's coming back. Cyframe Lord Omega can get back cards that are banished face down. Alright, I'm just going to... attack with what I have. There's nothing really I would want to use Foolish for right now, because I already got rid of Plague Spreader, and I had enough fuel in the graveyard for my Chaos Monster, so I really wouldn't use it right now, so I think I'll end up using it for the effect of Summoner Monk. But of course, if I summon Summoner Monk right now, he's just going to get banished, so I might as well go ahead and set that up right now. As much as this seems frustrating, I'm actually really glad that these characters are putting up a fight, because we actually get to see their decks kind of come to fruition. So there was a... I'm sure a lot of you are very familiar with the point of controversy associated with Carly, where they had... The reason why her character was minimized and reduced in the upcoming seasons is that her voice actress was supposedly involved in a cult, so they had no choice but to kind of minimize her impact in the story. I think they actually changed her voice actor in Japanese, which is why we don't really see a whole lot of her in Season 3 and 4.
Yeah.
She has a good episode in Season 3 with Jack, where Jack goes to investigate I think it was the episode where Jack goes to investigate who is battling. You're battling him.
Was it the Evil Jack?
No, it wasn't the... Actually, yeah, so she did help out with the Evil Jack investigation. You're absolutely right. But she also, I think, was there when Jack... oh my god. Sucks to be you. So, Shrink halves the original attack of a monster, since technically, the Fortune Ladies have no original attack. Their attack just went to 0. That's pretty funny. God damn it, another swords. Yay, Breaker! Of course, Breaker's just gonna get banished soon. Fortunately, Light comes back, I think. Nope, my card. Let's see, what can I summon? I almost don't want to summon Breaker because it'll just get banished off of Future Visions and then it won't come back with its token. So that's kind of annoying. See if she'll pay 1,000 life points for this. She will! Yay. We actually did something this turn, at least. So, the police officer, Ushio, or Tetsu Trudge in English, he had a partner that got involved in, like, some gang violence and got taken out. So Jack went to go investigate that. I think Carly was a big help as far as that goes. It is cool to see Carly, and even the other girls for that matter, still swooning over Jack throughout all of Season 3 and 4. But it's still kind of disappointing that they couldn't just go all the way with their relationship, because Jack already admitted that he loved her at some point in Season 2 when they're finally dueling Rex Godwin. You know, he's like I'm dueling with the motivation from someone that loves me, or whatever he said, and you know, it's pretty obvious the implications. Oh dear. Oh, that's a thing. That's a thing. She summoned her Earthbound Immortal, and it got banished off of her field spell. Not a lot of synergy there. Hang on. Yeah, not a lot of synergy with that. Or actually, maybe there is, because she just did a shit ton of damage to me. Wow. Holy shit. So, her Earthbound Immortal hits the field, gets banished, and then it just wipes my whole board. What the shit? I'm probably gonna lose. There's nothing. I mean, there's not really much I can do now. Wow, I'm actually gonna lose. What the fuck? Let's try that again. Alright, not a great start this time around, but we may be able to do something with this. With Ryza, we may be able to get rid of some of those problematic cards that she plays, like Swords or Future Visions. And we may be able to make a level 8 Synchro, which will definitely turn the tide a little bit. Of course, she's like setting her whole hand into her back row, so I'm not going to have anything to deal damage with. Let me set that without tributing. Let's go ahead and have Creebones get banished just so we can get that out of the way. Or she could just screw me over again. I guess better to have that happen now than later. Let's see, if I summon Caius, Caius' effect should chain to Future Visions, which will allow me to banish it, so hopefully I'll be okay as far as that goes. Let's see if we can get some damage in. Nice. Oh, let's see what happens. Nice. Okay, so he will come back, which is good. Of course, she may just have another one she can go ahead and activate, or another terraforming or something. Yep, there it is. Damn it. Yeah. Such an annoying card. But it doesn't really do anything, though. It's just your normal summon, so nowadays in the game, the fact that the game is more special summon reliant, it wouldn't be as good, but back in the day, in the 5Ds era, very, very annoying card. I'm sure she hasn't played anything yet, though. She hasn't played any of her Fortune Ladies yet. Great, I'm not going to get Caius back because the Future Visions was not on the field to resolve to allow him to come back. That's great. Let's see. I'll use Gold Sark and see if I can search for something that can destroy back row. Which is probably going to be nothing. I can get Dust Tornado. Man, how slow is that? Wait 2 turns to set Dust Tornado and then activate it. That's so bad. We can use a bit more damage to Red Blizzard. Come on, you got 6 cards in hand. Play something. Wow. I mean, I guess I should be okay with the fact that she actually won the first time around because her deck is so bricky. Let's see. Let's get the Go tokens on the field. I'm pretty sure I can synchro with those. Next turn, at least. So I guess I'll talk a little bit more about the Dark Signers in general. Again, Carly was... It's interesting that she got wrapped up in all that, because her character honestly would have been fine and interesting enough even without that angle, but the fact that she ended up becoming a Dark Signer just made things that much more interesting. And again, it really served as good character development and motivation for Jack, which, again, was something that he kind of desperately needed at that time, because there's a very big character turn with Jack in Season 2, because with Season 1, you know, Jack is definitely Yusei's rival in the typical rival sense. He's very similar to Kaiba in a lot of ways, but very quickly after all that is resolved, he is, without a doubt, Yusei's friend. It's pretty abundantly clear. Whereas the other rival characters, like if you think about Kaiba, like Kaiba by the end of the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not Yugi's friend at all. But you can't say that about Jack. I mean, he always was Yusei's friend when they were kids, and they kind of went their separate ways, and yeah, bad things happened. But, you know, in the end, Jack did make up for it. And I think what that allowed is, instead of having, like, petty rivalries, we were allowed to have really interesting character interactions. I wonder if I should make a bigger monster, or if I should just wait. I mean, she didn't respond when I attacked her, so maybe it'd be worth it. Maybe I'll wait until I can Dust Tornado Future Visions on my turn, so she can't play another one, and then I'll just go ham. Alright, now we can go ham with no problems. Let's make... What should we make? Let's make this guy. All the Go tokens. Scapegoat has actually kind of become a meta card recently. After not really seeing much play for the majority of its existence, it now actually sees highly competitive play, because if you activate it during your opponent's turn, you can use them as walls like you always could. Then you have the added venue of being able to use them as link fodder in your turn, which you can link up all the way into a big Link 3 monster. I'm sorry, a big Link 4, like Warlord or Firewall, Saryuja, one of those. See, I have another level 2 tuner. So I can make a bigger monster. Can I make BLS yet? Not yet. Yeah, let's do it. Just hope that she doesn't have anything to respond to this. But the Dark Signers were basically, while the regular Signers were kind of enhanced by the spirits of the 5 dragons that were the emissaries or the vassals of the Crimson Dragon, the Dark Signers were touched by the vassals of some dark ancient being, and they were based off of the weird crop circle things. I can't remember what they're called. Michelle, I'll have to ask her what they were called, but they were they're based off of those weird hieroglyphics in the ground, and so you have Carly's, which was the hummingbird one. You had this guy, his name is Devok in the dub, I'm not sure what his name was in Japanese, who had the ape. Obviously Misty's was the lizard, and then Rudger, who is actually Roman in the dub. Rudger was Rex Godwin's brother, and he has the spider one, so we'll get around to dueling him eventually. So let's go ahead and move on to Devok. The Nazca lines. Thank you, Wesley. I can't sit here and Google it, and I'm fumbling over my words trying to do commentary. Come on! Just pick who goes first already. And it's interesting, and from a lore perspective, like, where these different things come from. Like, are all these different cultures' histories, are they all true at the same time? Like, what's actually happening here? Because in terms of, like, you know, the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Series, which continued into GX, it was basically, it was true within the fiction of that story that the Egyptian gods were real, and the Egyptian mythology was real, but now in 5Ds, which again is still supposed to be part of the same continuity, you have this this like other culture that is that's meant to be true, and then you have God, what's the other words? I can't do words with commentary. It sucks. So they're going to try to battle. I'm going to negate that. Yeah, looks like I'm going to have to negate it again. So I think it's pretty cool they actually gave this guy like a proper deck to use. So they have all these beast-type monsters that actually do kind of synergize well together. You have Moja, which looks incredibly disturbing, which ends up turning into King of the Beasts. I don't know that he actually used these cards in the anime. I don't think he did, but it is pretty cool to see them actually get some use. Let's see, I can use Smashing Ground in my hand to get rid of King of the Beasts. Let's see, and then I can bring out Caius, banish that, and attack him directly. I guess that's my best move. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. It's like Aztec culture almost that they're basing some of the stuff in 5Ds off of, and some of the markings. So it's like, and they give you all of this. Rex Godwin gives the signers all of this backstory and lore about their cards in Season 1, actually, and so they know what their destiny is. They have it set. But again, it just kind of makes you wonder, like, how does this make any sense in the greater context of this setting? Like, what does all this mean, basically? And Does it mean that this other stuff is not canon, or is it all canon at the same time? Why is it that all of these different gods from all these different religions and cultures all decide to manifest themselves as cards? We may never know, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to have to actually torrential the field. He's bringing King of the Beast back, and he's going to be able to run over Kaya, so I'm just going to nuke the board. We get BLS to hand. Let's see. I'm going to bring out Neos Alias. In the case that Neos Alias dies, he's a light, so I can bring out BLS afterwards. We'll just poke him for 19. But I'm still... My suspension of disbelief is still there when it comes to 5Ds and its lore and everything that happens. I mean, it gets a little off track after the Darksiders arc, and I think most people believe that after the Darksiders arc, they kind of low-key ran out of ideas when it came to the story. I don't necessarily believe that. I do think that the storylines post the Darksiders arc are weaker than prior to it. But that doesn't mean that they're bad. Season 3 was definitely the weakest part of the series, but mostly just in terms of the animation. It served its purpose in terms of it had a lot of really good character development, and it had a lot of very innocent moments where the characters can kind of take in the setting and kind of take in what they've done, what they've accomplished. And there's a lot of imagery that kind of showcases that in season 3, like especially the credits outro. Like you see all this. Let me see. I think I can attack him directly with BLS and win. This is a great duel though. This is a nice give and take duel. I know I've been commentating over it, but let's go ahead and battle. 50 damage. And then I can attack directly for not quite game. He's gonna have 150 life points left. Wow. What a jerk. Hey, I have 2 level 8s. I could overlay for something if I actually had rank 8 exceeds in this deck, which I don't. Yeah, like some of the... I can't wait to do another video on this, but there's a lot of the imagery in the Season 3 outro has a lot of symbolism as far as, like, these are the characters kind of enjoying the scenery, enjoying the setting, enjoying the city, enjoying the scope of what they've accomplished, and kind of feeling good about it. But there's still like this clearly obvious visual of there's a greater destiny that lies before them, which I think is really cool. It's a very well done visual storytelling scene, even if it's not animated very well. And I have some major issues with how Leo and Luna were drawn with their like mouths on the side of their face. As far as Divok, again, whose name escapes me what it was in Japanese, but he had the apes, and he actually dueled Leo and Luna, or Rua and Ruka, as they're known in Japanese, and that made for an interesting duel. One of my least favorite parts of the 5D's lore is like the whole spirit world that Rua and Ruka go to. Mainly Rua, with Ancient Fairy Dragon, that whole spirit world where like Divok's Earthbound Immortal is basically keeping Ancient Fairy Dragon like hostage in that spirit world, and I think that was kind of just a dumb distraction. I didn't really much care for that. And then we fast forward to Rudger here, where Rudger seemed like just kind of a basic vanilla villain, but he actually, he's Rex Godwin's brother, and he actually is very important to the story. He actually had a lot to do with the Zero Reverse event, and he has a insect deck which focuses around spiders. And there actually was a spider archetype that was made in the card game specifically for him. I don't know that he's actually using any of those spider cards here in the game. We'll see. He's using a Cross-Sword Beetle, which is a basic insect monster that has piercing attack. Came from I remember using this guy at the Crimson Crisis sneak peek event all the way back in the day. Haha, I have the same defense, and you take a shit ton of damage. Well, sucks to be you, dude. Yeah, Rudger had a lot of interesting storylines. So he had a lot of very influential lines. The duel with him and Yusei was amazing, where Yusei summons Road Warrior for the first time. With the Mad Max reference completely intended there. Let's see, should I flip that back face down? Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll attack him directly and then flip it back face down and burn him again next turn. I'm such an evil bastard. So let's put that in attack. Let's go to battle phase. Yeah, Rudger didn't even originally want to be a bad guy. Like, he was trying to set things right, but then everything with Rex just got out of hand, and got out of hand literally when was it him or Rex that lost his arm? Yeah, I think Rex has Rudger's arm, I think is what it is, if I remember correctly. Oh, Drill Warroid. That could be bad. I'm definitely going to negate that. I guess his deck, for the most part, is focusing around monsters that have good battle effects like that. Okay, so he used a trap called Lair Wire. He banished an insect monster and destroyed my monster, that's pretty good. Let's see what else we can play. First of all, let's deal a bunch more damage to him. Summon Prebons. I don't have a level 5 Synchro I could make, but I can still stall a little bit, and then after that Dark hits the graveyard, I've got Chaos Sorcerer in hand, so... Spiderweb is his field spell. There we go, Spider. Those are cards that he actually used in the anime. Okay, so I can summon Chaos Sorcerer and still tribute Prebons for Caius and banish his field spell. Because the field spell changes monsters to defense mode, which is kind of annoying. Okay, so yeah, let's do that. Wesley mentioned earlier, thanks to Rex's Earthbound Immortal was broken. The effect that it had in the anime was absolutely broken. Being able to reduce your opponent's life points to 1, which causes so much damage to them essentially that they crashed their bikes and were essentially out of the duel, except they still kind of made their moves at some point, but yeah, they were essentially out of the duel. But the effect in the real game is not nearly as overpowered. Yeah, he had the Condor Earthbound Immortal as well. Let's see. Let's banish that, just in case. I mean, battling it or banishing it would have done the same difference, and I'm just going to attack the spider. No back row for me, but he's wide open. Maybe in time to employ the help of Morphing Jar. I know I said earlier on in this LP, as I've been using Morphing Jar, that he is banned, but Morphing Jar actually just recently came back into the game. Oh, hell, no entry. That's not good. Yeah, they... First... You son of a... So, what happened here? I don't understand. Oh, is he going to summon his Earthbound Immortal now? Oh, he synchroed for Underground Arachnid. That's his boss monster before we get to his Earthbound Immortal, essentially. Now, I could, if I can get off Magic Cylinder against him, which I can't because it says Discard attacks, your opponent can activate any spell or trap cards leading the damage step. But the Muda Spider has exactly as much attack as he has life points. So I can still kill him this turn, even though I lost my entire field. Yeah, the Duelist Pack Yusei 10 that came out in like 2010, 2011 had 3 packs of the Yusei Duelist Pack. It also had let's see, let's activate Lure. But it also had a pack of Duelist Revolution, and it had a bunch of promo cards. And the promo cards it had were all of the synchro monsters used by the Dark Signers, including Frozen Fitzgerald, Underground Arachnid, Zeman the Ape King, that was the previous guy we fought, and one other one, I think. I can't remember what its name was. Alright, man, your move. I'll take that damage, unfortunately. There we go. We win. Oh yeah, what the hell? We get 2 Infernal Flame Emperors? What are I wonder what the RNG chances are of that. We got a Spider card. We got a Dash Warrior. Yeah, Wesley makes a good point here. He says the Rex is literally walking around with the Nazca lines on his chest, wanting us to notice that he's the bad guy. Like, that's a really good point. Which I think we can see that a little bit later when we fight him. Yeah, there it is. It's the Condor and everything. So, little spoiler into the second column here, which we'll go to a little bit. But first, we have to beat the one true absolute king, Jack Godless. So, interestingly enough, I did a test duel against Jack earlier today, and his deck here in Millennium Duels is actually very accurate to his anime deck, and it works surprisingly well. He actually got Red Dragon Archfiend out on the field on me in the test duel. I still won, of course, but there's a lot of really cool monsters that Jack plays, none of which really have a whole lot of synergy with each other, but they definitely have... let's see, maybe I can set up for... Yeah. He summons a lot of very strong beaters that have easy summoning requirements. So he has Vice Dragon, he has Power Giant, or whatever it's called. You'll see some of them as we go through this. Some of these cards were very obscure and not used a whole lot. I even wonder about some of them actually making it into the game. I think there goes Power Giant. Okay, I think we're okay, but Bottomless is going to be a great asset to me to counter his strong beaters like that he just suddenly drops on the field, like Mad Archfiend and, like I said, Vice Dragon. Ooh, Battle Fader. That is definitely a card he plays, and it shut down my whole battle phase, so... one of the very early hand traps in the game as well, along with DD Crow, Honest, and Swift Scarecrow. There we go, Power Invader. So, if your opponent controls 2 or more monsters, you can special summon this card without attributing, and it has 2200 attack. So, not as good as Cyber Dragon, Vice Dragon, or Tefnuit, but it's kind of his one of Jack's signature cards. So, I didn't activate Bottomless. God, I'm an idiot. I guess I can get rid of it this way. Man, I'm such an idiot. I was just talking about using Bottomless and I didn't even activate it. I'm just so used to like having to skip through all these prompts because I have so many quick play cards. Ooh, Bottomless might come in handy now. He's summoned Flare Resonator, which you know what that means. Red the Demon's Dragon! There it is. I love that when the AI summons their boss monster too, it pops out at you. We are absolutely going to banish that. Sorry, Jack. Can't let you do that. See what you have in your back row. Red Dragon Vase. So this is actually, believe it or not, Thunder King Ryo is actually gonna lock down one of his cards because he does play Resonator Call, which is basically a Rhoda for Resonators. So he won't be able to activate that now. There's Vice Dragon. And there is still a chance, because he special summoned Vice Dragon, that he can normal summon like a Dark Resonator. Oh, he didn't do it. Okay. I was going to say, he can still normal summon like Dark Resonator and make another Red Dragon Archfiend, which I'm sure he has in his extra deck. Thankfully, Vice Dragon is still weak, so we can just walk right over it, essentially. Let's do that. Influence Dragon. I don't see how that really helps him. I mean, it's a level 3 tuner, but okay. Alright, and that's round 1 against Jack. Of course, being that he's the champion of this tier, we have to face him in a proper match. So he gets to pick who goes first this time around. Let's see. I guess I don't think I'm going to need Scapegoat, so we'll go ahead and we'll pitch it for Summoner Monk to get something good on the field. Fiendish Chain, lovely. Yeah, Fiendish Chain is a great trap card that will negate a monster effect on the field, and it actually was popularized by good old Jack here. It's basically in a way, it's almost like a retrain, a better version of Shadow Spell or Spellbinding Circle from the original Yu-Gi-Oh! And being that Shadow Spell was like a card that Kaiba used, it kind of makes sense for Fiendish Chain to be a Jack card. So he's going to summon Power Breaker. Let's bottomless that. I guess we'll summon Caius and attack him directly. This card can't be tributed though, so I guess we'll have to synchro with it then. Never mind then. I almost don't really want him to mill, because I'm sure he can recur cards from his graveyard, so let's just go with Gaia. That's generic, but has a little bit more attack. And once per turn, Dark Resonator can't be destroyed by battle, so that kind of hurts a little bit. I think I have a Light and a Dark. No, I just have Darks. I don't have a Light yet. Wesley's also saying that Jack will not be in Duel Links until the beginning of next year. That kind of sucks. I know that the 5Ds arc is already in the game. I'm trying to actually figure out how to even unlock that. Oh, hell, do I want to play Morphing Jar? Because if I send those two to the graveyard, I'm getting rid of my two best monsters, so... Clock Resonator. Basically the same effect, in a way, except that one's Battle War card effects. Slightly different stats, though. But it's 2 tuners, so you can't make a synchro quite yet with that. There's Mad Archfiend. Oh, here he goes. He's making a level 7 synchro. Yeah, Chaos King Archfiend. I mentioned earlier how Jack got into helping one of the police officers, one of the public security officers, with an issue regarding. I'm gonna have to nuke the board, unfortunately. Actually, yeah, I will, because Chaos King Archfiend I think can get over Gaia. He's gonna do a Resonator Engine. He shuffled 2 Resonators from his graveyard back into his deck, and then got a level 4 monster from his deck. That's pretty good. I guess I'm gonna have no choice but to maybe do Morphing Jar. Maybe I can tribute Morphing Jar for Caius. Oh, hell. There it goes. Okay, we got some good cards out of it, not the end of the world. He got his Dark Resonator back. See if any of his back row are battle traps. Red screen. Must declare 1,000. Must pay 1,000 life points to declare an attack. Maybe not worth it. I can always get rid of that with a breaker next turn, though. There's Power Invader again. We're gonna say bye-bye to that. Yeah, he could have other. He could have other back row that might bother us, but who knows? Okay, we're almost done. I got some good damage in. So, I'm kind of more focusing on the duel. I haven't done a whole lot of commentary with Jack yet, but Jack is actually probably, without a doubt, my favorite rival character in the series, barring Kaiba. And like I said, he's properly a friend to the main characters. Like, he actually is part of the group. He's not like the jerk rival that never wants to see things their way. Like, he's actually a good person in the long run. And his cards are really freaking cool, to be honest. And he has some decent character development. He's still stubborn. Like, in Season 3, there's this big thing where Yusei is really afraid of synchro summoning against Ghost, who's later revealed as one of the members of the Iliaster group. And he's basically like, oh, what the... Okay, I saw its stats go back up. I was like, what happened? That was it being destroyed, so we're good. I was, like, kind of freaked out there. And he does a practice duel with Jack where he's like, I want to see if I can beat you without synchro summoning. And Jack just does not humor him at all. Like, Jack summons Red Dragon Archfiend and beats him, and he's like, you're being foolish. You have to synchro summon. Like, don't be such a wuss. And it really doesn't go anywhere. So Jack kind of has this tough exterior, this kind of tough love attitude, but at the end of the day, like, you see through his actions that he really does care about his friends quite a lot, and that he along with Yusei, Crow, and Callan in the dub, but Kyosuke in Japanese were the part of Team Satisfaction, which they were basically like a little gang almost in the satellite region of the city, which was basically an island that was almost like a ghetto almost for that city. So let's go ahead and get some more damage on the board. I think I can beat him this turn. Yeah, the satellite region was of kind of a rundown neighborhood, and a lot of the people there were associated with crime. A lot of them were branded, hence the tattoos on Yusei and Crow's face. Alright, we should be able to beat him now. Jack essentially left all of that to become this pro dueling champion, and he got in close with Rex Godwin and the other aristocrats and the members of the public safety department, and that's kind of what led to him becoming the king, as it were. And let's see what we got. We got a Dark Highlander. That's pretty cool. We got... I now have 3 Monster Reborns, and I can't play any of them. We got his Power Giant, which is pretty cool. If I ever decide to use that. It's a pretty cool beater that can be summoned easily as a high-level monster to go into synchros. Okay, so that is it for the first tier of the 5Ds tournament. So the second tier, which we'll be doing in the next episode, we're going to duel against Hunter Pace. I can't remember what his name was in Japanese, but I'll look it up. And he has a zombie deck that focuses on that red skull thing and that skull flame monster. It's not even really an archetype, but he was famous in the anime for having the most ridiculous bike ever. It's like this obnoxiously huge, like, monster truck bike. And then we'll go up against, again, he's Ushio in Japanese. He's actually a recycled character design from the original manga, like what we as in the fan base refer to as the Season 0 manga. And he has a deck that focuses on security, where he uses the Stygian Street Patrol and Stygian security cards, which are actually pretty good. Then we'll go up against Kyosuke Kiryu or Callan in the dub, and he has his Infernity deck that focuses on summoning Infernity Doom Dragon. And then we'll go up against Rex Godwin himself, the leader of the Dark Signers, and his ultimate Earthbound Immortal, which is the Warakoa Raska, I guess is how you pronounce that. I don't know what Mountain has to do with it. I guess Mountain is the field spell he puts on the field to facilitate summoning that. And then finally we'll go up against Aporia, who is the leader of the... I'm assuming he's the leader of the Iliaster group, and the one who holds all the Mech Lord, the ultimate Mech Lord cards. He's going to make an appearance in Season 4. I haven't actually gotten that far yet because I'm still watching Season 4, so we'll see what happens, and then we'll move on to the third tier, which, as you can see, I haven't completed yet. And then the fourth one is basically the rest of Team 5Ds. They put Jack over here for some reason, and then this whole thing is like Ruo, Ruka, Aki, Crow, and then Yusei is the final tier. And then we'll be ready to move on to Zexal. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys next time.